So I'm expecting one of the best summit days this month on the 21st. But the issue is if I can't keep my feet warm, my toes warm during the day, I'm too slow to summit without a very early start. Like at least 3 a.m., but probably midnight. And walking through the night with cold feet that I can't keep warm is just not is a recipe for disaster. Indeed, I'm worried about getting frostbite here at Nido de Condores. Okay, I'm here at Nido de Condores, 18,200 feet. The sign says 5,380. I thought it was closer to 5,500. Okay, I'm at Nido de Condores right now. It's very, very windy and very, very cold. The problem is I'm having trouble keeping my feet warm, my toes warm in particular, even though I have great double boots and the warmest Expedition socks there are. So I'm thinking about packing up maybe today or tomorrow morning and going back down because I just don't want to lose my toes for something that's as stupid as a summit. So we'll see. I'm going to boil some more water now. My tent is kind of worse for wear. It's getting pushed around by the wind. I don't know how to stop that. There are 2 free tents in the dome next to me. I think I'm going to ask to use those. And maybe that'll allow me to get an earlier start if I want to descend to HOEAAS. I don't have enough experience in cold environments. I was at Rainier. I know that my feet got cold on the summit nights of Pico de Orizaba and Kilimanjaro. So that's kind of my Achilles heel. I thought having triple boots would cure this problem, but it doesn't seem to. Doesn't seem to keep my feet that much warmer, and I don't know. I think had more like I spend a lot of time in cold weather, skied a lot. I would understand this. I live in Louisiana, and it's hard to even put on the find weather cold enough that you can is bearable to put on the double boots. So I was undecided about doing it this Kilimanjaro this year, but I felt like I can see my running times get slower. I can see my cardiovascular fitness getting slower as I get older, and I didn't think that I would, the situation would improve if I waited till I was in my early 50s instead of my late 40s. But maybe if I was a younger man, if I was 15 years younger, when I was faster and was more cardiovascular fit, maybe I would be able to do all this and feel like I could get it done without risking my toes. Nido de Condores is 18,200 feet, which is about 5,000 feet, less than 4,000 to 5,000 feet short of the summit. That was the coldest night I've ever camped in by far. I suspect that ambient temperatures were below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll have to look at the weather reports for that. For some reason I didn't bring a thermometer. You know, I was saved by these toe warmers. Otherwise, I would not have been able to keep my feet warm, even with slippers on and my warmest socks on, inside my negative 20 degree Fahrenheit bag. When my tent was getting knocked down, I made the mistake of moving into this place here with these cots. But this is way too big a place. And so I guess one factor I didn't take into account is that a smaller tent, you heat it up. And so what I should have done, there's a black dome right next to this. This one's actually not very good because it's on an angle. The black dome, I think it's a bit flatter. It's also smaller and it's black, so it gets heat during the day. I should have pitched my tent inside the black dome, right? So I have a freestanding tent, so it doesn't have to be staked down if there's no wind. So I should have done that and did my normal sleeping routine, and that would have been much better. But I didn't realize my error until 10 p.m. when it's really cold. But that was terrible. I think the other thing is just gives you an idea of how dangerous these camps are. I mean, just the camps in terms of hypothermia, losing your fingers, losing your toes. I'm gonna put more feet warmers on my toes now. Although we're almost to the point of the day, it's after 8 a.m. I think it's 9:30 when the sun actually radiates onto the mountain, because the top of the mountain blocks the sun, even here at Nido de Condores. I'm going down. The porters are going to meet me at 10. I don't want to spend any more time in this cold. I just think it's way too dangerous. I don't care that much about the mountain. I admit I need more experience with cold weather camping and cold weather movement to effectively challenge this mountain. And that's the biggest thing. But I got some experience here. I learned some things the hard way, but I don't want to learn them so hard that I lose a finger or a toe. Okay, I want to talk about the failings of my tent. The problem with my tent is that it doesn't have an outer tent that extends down to the ground. So what you want to have is an outer tent that has big flaps. And so those big flaps that go on the ground, you can place rocks on them, and that's what will work here in Aconcagua because you can't put down stakes. So if you're getting a tent, make sure it has an outer tent. So you want a double wall, but an outer tent that has flaps that touch the ground and for several inches, 6 inches all around. Something, because you want to get as much rock on top of that as possible. Okay, you see how this tent has its outer fly extends onto the ground, so that allows the people who pitch it to put rocks on that, and that keeps too much convection from going down. So the rock's right there. So ideally, when selecting a tent for Aconcagua, you want to think of an outer fly that goes, it's too big, oversized, and touches the ground. And that allows you to do the rock method. They could do the rock method with this HOEAAS tent. They even have some tents over here where they just cover it a tarp and they put lots of rocks in it.